Namaste, Vanakkam. Let me start with an invocation. Om Vyasam Vasishtanaptaram Shakte Pautamakalmasham Parasharatmajam Vande Shukatatam Taponidhim Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidahe Vasishtaya Namo Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. On this auspicious occasion of Vyasa Purnami, which is also called Guru Purnami, the great Vyasa Maharishi, who gave us the Puranas, the Mahapurana, and the great Jaya, also called Mahabharata, and enlightened this nation and the world on the Purushartha, on Dharma, on Moksha. We bow down to his holy feet and we invoke the blessings of the Guru Parampara on everybody so that they attain to jnana. Ajnana is terrifying, and that's why the great chant
अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Just as we use a certain tool, like an ointment, we apply in the eyes for better eyesight. We come out of this particular kind of a darkness. The Guru actually brings us out of darkness. That is the role of a Guru. Through the ajnana or whatever ajnana we have, whatever blinds us, that is removed through the grace of the Guru. That is what this particular shloka says.
And it is not easy when we are caught up in the trammels, the cycle that keeps us entrapped. And we don't see a way out of this endless cycle. Those who have experienced it can clearly understand this. You're caught up in that cycle of habits, of vasana, and you struggle. It's so painful. Initially, what gives pleasure later gives pain. And you feel suffocated. The more you invest in it, the more you try to come out, the more you feel entrapped. And that causes huge, unbearable pain, which is called the pain of samsara, samsara sagara. And not seeing any way out. Only then that deep longing for someone to somehow liberate one from that trap. from that cycle, which one is unable to overcome. And that is somehow, no matter how much one tries to understand, still its mysterious power holds us trapped. Just like a small child feels trapped when it has a homework to submit. There is a deadline. And at the last minute, it can clearly look up only to its parents. The parents are all powerful. When the child is pushed into such a scenario, who does it automatically turn to? It's the guru. In the form of the parents. The parents liberate from those constraints. But who liberates from the constraints of ajnana? You see yourself encircled in your own ajnana. As you start becoming conscious, you can no longer blame the world for your sufferings. You start becoming aware. As you go deep within, you start becoming aware that you are your own enemy. Your mind is your own enemy. And hence, how to get yourselves liberated from that cycle? Who do you fight against? There is nobody else to fight. How do you get out of it? So this practical aspect is what motivates this ancient land to sustain this sacred Guru Shishya Parampara. It's not easy to sustain. You need so many people to have gone through these conditions to realize its worth. And where there is no exposure, there is no appreciation, there is no realization of that worth, and hence we give it up. So not giving up this Guru Shishya Parampara means in this land, the sanctity of such a relationship has been understood, has been held up, has been sustained as something that is of tremendous importance, much more important than any political system, much more important than any economic system, much more important than any entertainment system, much more important than anything else. Such importance has been given to this sacred Guru Shishya Parampara. And that is what holds everything up. This is the core that energizes this whole nation. And thereby showing the best practice that can be so beneficial for the entire world. We recognize in education, in current education, the process of PhD system. PhD is the highest degree in the modern education. And that is held up by the guide-student relationship, which is Guru Shishya Parampara. The guide initiates the student, and the recognition of that is the PhD, is the doctorate degree that the student receives, and in turn becomes capable of initiating others as their students into this process. How wonderful. That might not be necessary at the undergraduate level. That might not be necessary at the school level. But definitely at the Ati Sukshma, the subtlest level of jnana, which is what the PhD represents. Otherwise, we encounter the diversity of subjects at the undergraduate, graduate, and the school level. But all of those get unified at the level of the PhD. That's why it's a unifying degree, doctorate of philosophy. And philosophy is the underlying principle, the unifying principle that unifies everything. So all compartments of knowledge, all departments of knowledge, be it medicine, be it engineering, be it physics, chemistry, fundamental sciences, mathematics, arts, humanities, all of those are unified at the level of philosophy. And hence a common degree, PhD, in recognition of that. Such a parampara has been held up, and it is given the utmost importance in educational systems. Because if that is not held up, then all else will fail, will just crumble. Because that's the subtlest that needs to be held firm without any corruption. And clear qualifications. Likewise in the Guru Shishya Parampara, that has held up this great Bharatavarsha. And realizing this as a best practice, all other nations can benefit. Because in this civilization, it's been held up, held aloft as a clear best practice, without which everything crumbles. Because everything else is a superstructure that is created on this fundamental basis, which is the Guru Shishya Parampara.
In fact, talking about the grace of the Guru, now I'm reminded of the situation last year at around the same time when we were actually constructing the Dhyanalaya. Only in retrospect we get to understand a lot of things. When we are in the moment, we don't realize many things. Now when we are trying to construct a small hut, which is barely 200 square feet or so, there's so much delay in it, there is so many things that are happening.
In fact, it's come to a stop.
It's come to a stop because of the corona situation. But when we had the sankalpa of constructing the Dhyanalayam, we had only 108 days, 108 days from the desire. We cannot
From
say
the
our
sankalpa,
desire,
yeah.
but it is maybe, whatever you can call
Divine
it.
grace,
Divine
you can say.
grace, yes. Divine command. And the Guru Purnima day, we had only 108 days. And the first thing that was needed was, whenever you take up an Excel sheet and draw it, the first thing you do is the budgeting. And the moment we approached a few people, they immediately understood the larger purpose of the Dhyanalayam and were very generous in offering their donations. They had observed the good work that we were doing towards the society, and they were quite magnanimous in offering the donation with which we were able to build the Dhyanalayam. You can see, I'm not sure if you can see, but it's a circular structure with a 8-part roof above with a kalasam.
About 2,000 square feet of built-up space.
And then we had 3 elaborate days of function. And it was amazing how Adi Shankaracharya arrived a few days before the consecration. And at the same time, our ashram Goshala Surabhi delivered a beautiful baby. So Adi Shankaracharya was coming in the van, and then the baby was delivered. So it was all Mangalam everywhere, And then you have this paraparappa that is going on in the ashram, and then you pray for hope everything goes on well. And then things happened wonderfully well. We had a lot of people visiting the Dhyanalayam. And ever since we constructed the Dhyanalayam, ever since the Gurus Mahavatar Priya Babaji and Adi Shankara have been blessing us, so many people from different parts of the country and abroad have heard about the Dhyanalayam and have visited it, spent time here. We may not have known them, but they would hear it through somebody and then visit the Dhyanalayam. And we've offered many Mauna Sadhana programs here. People have experienced very amazing states of calmness, some reflections, some introspection has happened here. So it would be wonderful if all of you could visit the Dhyanalayam once this lockdown is over. We are having a unique Guru Purnima event there. A handful of us, just a handful of us here. But of course, we are reaching all of you through this medium of social media.
And our humble pranams to those who contributed. There were various types of contributions that came in. So those who monetarily contributed definitely are humble pranams that, in 1 year's time, last Guru Purnima, the Pratishtha was done here of Mahavatar Priya Babaji, our Guru, and Adi Shankaracharya ji, who is the guiding light. And Acharyas from Sringeri had come here to do the Pratishtha of Adi Shankaracharya ji. Very auspicious happenings, and all because of, the divine Sankalpa taking the form of expression through the large-hearted acts by various people. The acts of financial contribution when we approached, the acts of labor contribution through Shramdan, which is very significant because this is built up of stone and it's labor intensive.
So everybody at the ashram pitched in some way or the other in carrying the stones and then placing them.
And it was joyous occasion, and nobody knew if it would get over. Where would we get the funds from? Would it even be possible in, from conception, it's 108 days. But actual work-wise, it was just 90 days. It happened under 90 days. The whole Dhyanalayam was complete, which is phenomenal. If you look at the construction and the massive effort that has gone in, and just a handful of people. So the contribution in terms of labor, physical labor, that has been a huge contribution. And more than anything else, the contribution in terms of mantra japa from various places around the world, people poured in, took up the vrata of mantra japa for those 108 days, kept it up, and that is a very, very significant contribution. Generally, the Guru's role is looked at as something that is very subtle, which is across lifetimes. The parent's role is for one lifetime, but the Guru's role is considered across lifetime.
In fact, two members of Anadi Foundation even got married in that period, and then they were available here the next week to take forward the construction.
So like that, people have generously contributed to making this happen. And why is this required? Just as people go to institutions to study, educational institutions to study, which provides a safe space, which provides a protected space, which provides a space which is focused, and hence enables the process of gaining knowledge to happen. Now, many of us want peace of mind, harmony at the inner level. We want clarity. We want a balanced state of feeling, balanced state of mind. And that's where a safe space, a protected space, a consecrated space, a space dedicated to those processes become very, very essential. So that was the requirement that was there, and hence the Dhyanalayam got expressed. So that's why such processes are not looked at as random or random desire. It does not happen to everybody. And hence we feel it is our good fortune that we have been an instrument in such a divine cause to spread peace, to spread harmony in the hearts of people, the lives of people. That people can live peacefully, harmoniously, with joy, and experience deeper aspects within themselves, which take them beyond just the physical, which takes them beyond just the process of birth and death, which are attached to the physical, the instrument, which is called Adi and Anta. That's why we call this foundation Anadi, which is beginningless. That is the principle that all of us are, and which we can choose to express in our lives. Then our lives become glorious expression of that undying, unifying principle, which is fundamentally divine. Yes. So, thank you all for participating. And with this, we will be having a Guru Puja. Please participate in it. Om Namah Shivaya.
Oh.
ॐ श्री योगविद्या गणपतये नमः। ॐ श्री स्कंदगुरवे नमः। ॐ श्री महाक्रिया बाबाजी ज्ञानस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ श्री जगद्गुरु आदिशंकराचार्य नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्म सम्प्राप्त कर्मबन्धविदाहिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मन्नाथ श्री जगन्नाथ मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरु मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम्। एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। गुरुरादिरनादिश्च गुरुर्परमदैवतं गुरोर्परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ध्यानामूलं गुरुर्मूर्तिं पूजामूलं गुरुपदं मन्त्रामूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षामूलं गुरुकृपा। न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकम् येमा विद्युतो भाति कुतोऽयमग्निः। तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वम् तस्य भाषा सर्वमिदं विभाति। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्।
Namaste, all of you. Thank you for your wholehearted participation and your blessings on this auspicious Guru Purnima and Anadi Foundation Day and Dhyanalayam Day celebrations. We hope to see you all at the ashram soon, after the lockdown, of course. And our deep prayers for the well-being of all throughout the world. It is the Guru Shishya Parampara which is sustaining us all currently through these challenging times. May all the Gurus shower their blessings upon humanity, and may we each one of us have the opportunity to discover our inner Guru, the guiding light, which will help us sail through not just these challenging times, but through the bondage of samsara. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.